But let's stick with point
But
guards. Chris
we'll
Paul, like we said today,
yeah.
going to the Clippers now from New Orleans. Oh, man, it's way too late. New Orleans now is going to get a good package. I think this is the almost the original package that they had. Eric Gordon, Aminu, Kamen, a first round pick from Minnesota, which is going to be a top 10. Minnesota's not that good,
Yeah, unprotected too. So
unprotected. So either way, that's a good trade for New Orleans. That's the kind
yeah,
they needed. And
I think it's
now the Clippers have a legitimate team now.
yeah. Oh no, the Clippers have a very legitimate team right now. The thing that annoys me is it seems like the NBA wanted Chris Paul to be in Los Angeles, but didn't want him in gold and purple.
You know what? And I'm going to be honest and flat out on this point. There is no way on God's green earth that David Stern should say, oh no, this trade is no good. There's no way.
Yeah,
The amount of trades I've seen, not only in basketball, but in every other sport, every other contract in the NBA that is terrible, you didn't say a word about. But, oh,
yeah.
Chris Paul's going to go to the Lakers and you're going to say something? Which was a good trade for all teams involved.
Yeah, I mean, Pau Gasol would go to the Rockets,
Yes.
who absolutely loved Pau Gasol.
Yep.
Lamar Odom would have gone to New Orleans.
And Luis Scola would have gone to New Orleans, too.
Luis Scola, who Houston wants to get rid of,
Yes.
would have
And he
gone to
doesn't
New
want to
Orleans.
be there. That was
Kevin,
a great trade.
yeah,
And then when I read it, it was great for everyone. The Lakers get their next guy to take over after Kobe leaves, and you know what? Also to help Kobe now,
yeah,
making them continuing a legitimate conference threat.
and they
You're
still
gonna
have Andrew Bynum.
exactly. New Orleans has a legitimate big guy, and Bynum's got to learn a little bit, but you know what? Like, legitimate right there.
Yeah,
I think it's stupid that any commissioner or whatever head guy of a league is going to say no. There's a lot of theories. Anyone who wants to read them, check out Bill Simmons. He put a lot of them there, and I agree with like 3 or 4 of them.
yeah. But the one thing I'll say about this trade is there was just way too much uncertainty about exactly what was said from the owners to David Stern, from the teams involved to David Stern. I really want to know what the reformatted trade that the Lakers submitted Saturday morning would.
My understanding was that it was the same trade reset because David Stern had kind of had one of those, oh, you know what, maybe I just have to rethink this kind of things. And when the Lakers got rid of Lamar Odom, that trade was gone.
Yeah,
When Lamar Odom went to Dallas, that was the end of that trade.
and Lamar Odom going to Dallas annoyed a lot of the Lakers locker room,
Oh my
especially
God, yeah, because Lamar Odom's,
especially
you know what,
Kobe Bryant, who you don't want to annoy.
right?
You know, Kobe Bryant came out and said, you know, I guess he said I have a feeling that Mark Cuban didn't call Commissioner Stern and argue against Lamar Odom going to the Mavericks.
No, it gives them another hot shooter with Jason Terry.
Yeah,
And I kind of like that. The only thing I'm really worried about with Dallas right now,
I just think this was the league not wanting the Lakers to put two superstars together.
and the one thing like I
That's
said, the one thing I really worry about is the Lakers. I'm sorry, the Mavericks not having JJ Barea. That was a huge presence off their bench. Huge.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Now, a couple of other signings before we end this segment. Huge signing for Memphis Grizzlies. They bring back Marc Gasol, who's Gasol's younger brother. 4 years, $58 million. Uh, uh, the Chicago Bulls signed the Pistons swingman Rip Hamilton. Yeah, UConn
Huge.
Big East.
That's huge.
That's a huge signing. After Ben Gordon went from Chicago to Detroit last year, now Chicago gets Rip Hamilton. You got to say that the top 3 teams in the East, the 4 teams in the East, next
my
year.
my dog's putting in input on this one too.
Yeah. I mean, I like his input. I agree with him. The top 4 teams in the East next year are going to be Miami, New York, Chicago, and Boston.
Agreed. All right, guys. Part 3 is coming on the way. MLB offseason. Pujols gets his big contract. Stick in and listen up.